Joe, what's going on, man?
What up? What up? What up?
How you been?
Good, man. I'm good. It's another week, man. I'm ready to get this week started. Cranked up. Let's do it.
My week is already cranked, baby. It's
It's
gone.
already pulled away, turned
It's
up, all the way.
It's all the way. It's all the way turned up. Is that what the kids?
All the way turned up. Yes.
Yeah, man. So, we here, man.
We here. We're making it. We're making it. I got a second jolt of energy just in pre-show, like just in between the time when we say go ahead and hit live. And right now, and now it's starting to drain away again. So I'm gonna have to drink to that. I'm gonna have to take a sip to that. Just to,
you know what? It's funny because I got my water sitting in front of me, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna drink today." And then I saw you pull a bottle across, like 20 seconds left in the intro song, and I was like, "Damn, he's drinking."
Right.
I saw this.
You're right. Just ahead, just a little bit, bit. We're right across the street.
Right. Grab the beer out the fridge. So we're gonna go with that today.
Hey, I had to do something. I haven't been drinking for. I've been playing it pretty low key on the previous week's episode, but I am in partial celebration mode
which you should be.
So I broke out the Macallan. I'm doing Macallan 12 today. The double cast. It's a good day. It's a good day.
So tell us, bro. I mean, obviously, we don't share where we are, but we typically share where we've been.
Right.
So, you're leaving Georgia State.
Yeah.
After what, 12 years?
It's been something like almost 13 years.
Hold on. Does that count the time you were a student or no?
Yeah, so that formally counts when I was a student, but it doesn't count all the time that I've worked at Georgia State, right? So that it's weird like that, right? For me, it was I started off as some people know this, other people don't, but height of the 2008 recession when everyone was getting laid off with stuff, right? I became an electrician. And one of my contracts was working at Georgia State on the basketball arenas. So I got to know Georgia State for a solid year before I went back to school in 2009. So it doesn't count that time. So if we put all that together, it's like 14 years working at Georgia State in some capacity.
That's crazy, bro.
It is kind of crazy.
Congratulations, man. I know, because I've known you as long as I've known you, you get to see the ups, you see the downs, right? You see it all, right? We've got to see it all with each other. But like knowing where you're going and what you've been through, big congratulations to you, bro, and all that you guys have fought through to get your family to this moment. So congratulations.
I appreciate it, man. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. It's been a moment, right? And now that moment, I think it's important that you read the signs of that energy, right? When it's like this moment feels like it's kind of wrapping, like you're coming up on the end of a chapter and it's time to start a new chapter, right? Not necessarily a new book, but a new chapter. So as you kind of engage with that energy, it's like, yeah, let me see where this goes. So I'm proud of the work that we've done for so many years, and now I'm ready to look forward to the next chapter. So
yeah, man. No, I mean, big ups to you, bro. Big ups to you, man. Like you should take some time, reflect. It's funny. I wish we did a better job of taking not a gap year, but taking some time off in between one job and the next. I know people that'll take like a month off, right? And it's never something I've done. I've always
never feel like I have the space to do that, right? Like take a month off. Every time I hear somebody that says it's like, I don't really know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna take a few months off. You're like,
what?
What? What? How you paying bills?
Exactly.
You good? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I can't, literally my schedule has always been leave work on Friday for the last time, with boxes, with like the last box, right? Not that you leave your boxes, but it's the last box. And then boom, you showing up to a new spot on Monday morning, like,
right.
Where's the copy machine? You know,
right. I gotta give Danielle props because she definitely was like, so are you taking a week off? I was like, no, I'm not taking a week off. I gotta go back. I gotta get this money. She's like, nah, but it's spring break. You're gonna need to at least take half the week off. So I gotta give my wife props for forcing the space to just be like transition.
my wife, she don't never force me to take the space.
Right? You gotta have that energy, right? That's
she know my default is no balance whatsoever.
Be like, no, I'm just going hard in the paint.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that means. No chill. I have no chill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yo, and can I give another big ups though?
Yeah.
Yo, so also Keisha, one of our good listeners, man. She just posted on Facebook. She got the 40th birthday photo shoot album up.
40th birthday. She dropped the photo bombs, man. Just like Keisha out here partying, doing it up. 40th. Happy 40th, man.
Happy 40th, man. We're gonna join you later on this year.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's your time. So happy birthday to you. And we are happy that you took that time to celebrate yourself. So big ups to Keisha for turning 40.
I respected that in Keisha's post, she said, life has been lifing.
Fam.
And I felt that. I felt that in my soul. I felt that when she said life has been lifing, I was like, yes, that's accurate. Like on reflection, yes, that's true. Yes.
So I saw this goes back to the life has been life and moment. A parent, I was scrolling through Instagram before we started the show, and a kid was in Target. Mom let her use her own money, and so she put the 20 in the little bill feeder thing, and it took it.
Right.
And the little girl looked up at her mom and looked back at the little bill feeder thing, talking about where my money go, and she started crying. And I was like I felt that in my spirit. Like every time I go to pay for something, it's like, give me my money back. And so that little girl broke down, and I said, baby, I feel you. So
I feel it.
Life
it hurts.
Give me my money.
Life has been life, and that is you got to trademark that, Keish. Put it on a bunch of t-shirts, get it out there.
Yeah. And my wife can do the design for you. You're going to have to pay her though, because she, like back in Candace's heyday before she started Fresh Fruit Media, she would do stuff for the hookup. Now
she charged.
We don't do hookup stuff no more.
Your wife is the epitome of yesterday's price.
It's not
today's price.
Bam. But you know what? The crazy part about that is we still have conversations today around the fact that she's still, we both feel like she's still not charging enough, right?
Right.
You see what other agencies or you see what other people charge, and you see how much time she puts into all of her clients. And I think we both can agree, like, she's like, yo, like, I'm still not charging enough. And it's like,
right.
How do people get that pricing structure right? I mean, I guess that's the hardest thing about owning your own business, but how do you get the pricing structure right and all of this stuff? So like, can it be yesterday's price ain't today's price every day?
Right.
Like, is that sustainable? Anyway, that's not a conversation we said we were going to talk, but you said it. So now I brought it up.
Well, no, the only thing that I would add there is I think you keep going up until someone says stop, until your main target says, I can't afford it. And then you come down. That's when you come down a little bit, just enough, right? But you gotta get your value. You gotta get your worth out of that,
Right. But it's like when you start, now granted, in her, like she's had Fresh Fruit Media marketing consultant agency, does great work, digital, social, all the things, right?
Yeah.
She's a rock star. She's a unicorn in the marketing design space. And I'm not saying that just because she's my wife. Y'all know me. If she was trash, I would say you can find somebody better. But she's not. She's a rock star. Right. And so I feel that, right? And it's like, because she is so good at what she does, and because she provides her clients so much value, I think she has room to go up and charge more. It's just, how do you determine the increment, the stair step, right? Like, how do you, this year, like, I can't go from here to here in 1 year. So what's the stair step? But if the stair step isn't high enough, then that means I'm always going to be behind based on inflation and all the rest of the things. So it's a thing, man. I don't know. I don't have an answer to it.
I'm not good at those things because I'm the main one that's like, charge more, keep charging more. How much? More, obviously more, right? Hey, we didn't do this, but what are you drinking on? So
I'm drinking my huge, man. I'm drinking on my Victory. This is traditionally, I don't know if y'all can see it. This is traditionally my summer beer.
Yeah.
Love it. It's got a nice, it's this balance of sour and hops. So I traditionally drink this during the summer. And when we hit that warm spell, like a month ago, Candace bought me a case of it. And I started grilling. So I'm like, boom, here we are. Let's
you've already started grilling. It's grilling season.
I have already grilled 3 times, like at least 3 or 4 times.
What?
Oh my God. Yeah, bro. No. The grill has been on.
I've been waiting. I just cleaned up the grill stuff, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
No.
It's all the tree sperm out there. It's the tree sperm, the pollen is all over the place. I can't deal with it right
now. I done already done ribs and sausage. I done
you out here hooking it up.
I'm out here, bro. I am out here. It is, this is my season, right? Like I can cook in the kitchen.
Right.
I really care to.
Yeah.
Your boy can throw down in the kitchen. I love it. But like spring, summer, your boy is in his bag on the grill, right? Like, so this is my time to shine. Candace will be like, yo, I'm at the farmer's market. You want to grill? I'm like, just bring the meat.
Keisha said you out here grilling for real already. And that's the same energy I'm reading.
Like the only thing I haven't done yet, I haven't done fish.
Yeah. I haven't mastered the whole fish game. Fish game on the grill, that ain't my jam yet. That's not my. If someone were to come up and be like, "Here's some salmon," I'll try it. But I gotta be honest, you probably want somebody else to do that.
Is it the struggle for you is when to flip it because it'll stick?
My struggle is I don't like salmon, so.
Well, I will say salmon has had the black community in the choke. Oh shit! Sorry, the shoulder hurt. Salmon has had the black community in a chokehold for far too long.
Right.
It is way too many other fishes and animals in the sea for us. We can move off. We don't now.
See, now we're talking about fish, right? And this is a rabbit hole that I think we can stand on.
I'll eat anything in the water. If it came out the water, your boy will put it on the grill and eat it.
I'm not that guy, right? I get a little weird about fish sometimes, right? If y'all are in the chat, if you have a favorite fish, I really want you to post it because as Tasha just mentioned, she read my mind. Tilapia and salmon is out here. Like salmon is for people that used to do tilapia and then got like a little 10% bougie on it, right? Like, I don't do tilapia anymore. I do salmon, right? And I don't know. I don't like either one of them. I'm like a flounder, sea bass. Like I like a good flake on it. Grouper gets a little fatty on it.
So I did grouper. Actually, I have done fish on the grill. I did a grouper. Candace would say I forgot. It was probably grouper maybe about a month ago.
Yeah.
And that one, because that was my first time grilling it, I dropped that in some foil and then went high heat on that. Next time I cook it, I'll probably bring it out the foil and cook it on the grill and get my times right. But yeah, your boy. Like a fresh Candace's thing. I'm surprised she ain't brought it home yet. It's a snapper.
Yeah, red snapper. Red snapper's good. The thing that you got to watch about red snapper is if you ain't getting it from if you ain't getting it from the Cab Farmers Market or you getting it from the farmers market, then I don't know if you eating red snapper, right? Mm. It's too much people out here faking it. It's saying, oh, this red snapper it's not red snapper, right? It just has a different bite on it. It's good. It's great.
Like so Candace will do Candace's tradition. Anything that I put on the grill, Candace is traditionally the one who seasons the meat, right? Okay. And so we have a good balance of. So I'll make the sauce, she'll season the meat, and I'll grill it. But Candace will do on the red snapper. She will marinate with. She'll stuff it with leeks, peppers, which you can't have the peppers because you're allergic. But right. She'll stuff it with red, yellow, green peppers and some leeks, and then marinate it in some coconut milk. And then boom, she'll hand it to me after it marinates for a little bit. And then
y'all cooking it up, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, like the summer season.
Now, see, I get it. Because you know me, I got the smoker, I got the grill out there. It's only a matter of time before
it should have happened already, Kerry.
Well,
I'm ashamed of you right now.
Well, admittedly, I was late. I went late into the season because I smoked that turkey for Thanksgiving. It was pretty good. But now I'm having to break it back out. I got to clean everything up, get it fresh, get it right. And I'll probably do some sausages at some point just to dial it in where we at this season, and then start turning it up a notch.
You gotta find it. You gotta find the smoking groove. You can't just jump out here first time out and smoke something hard. You gotta really grill right.
You gotta get back acclimated. You gotta be like, all right, cool. What are we doing?
Yep.
What chips I got? What we want,
What's the hot? Let me relearn my grill. Right. What's the hot side of the grill with a cold spot? I feel you. I feel you.
So I'm always excited for that. But it's usually just around April-ish is when it's time, right? And now that I'll be working from home, pandemic, I was grilling. Well, I was like, hey, I'll be right back in between meetings. I'm gonna go upstairs, throw something on the grill, eat that for lunch. Bang. You got
no choice. Like real talk. You need to be like, if you cooking on Sunday, you need to go ahead and grill up your lunch food at the same time.
Oh yeah. And now that I got the smoker.
Yeah, so Candace early in the comment section talking about you could do a bomb fish on that smoker.
Hey, I'm about to be this year. I'm smoking everything because we got the cold smoker. I can just smoke some cheeses out there. I can do a bunch of stuff.
Keisha said April is Saturday, so you don't have no excuse no more.
I don't. That's why I was getting ready. Keish. I was getting it together.
It sound like y'all need to take. What's up, Janelle? So Janelle's watching. I hadn't seen Janelle in a minute. She watched us way back when we had the OBAP, the show we did for OBAP.
Yeah.
So anyway, it sounds like you need to try to come on and run through this farmers market this weekend. That's what y'all need to do on your family trip.
Hey, but y'all going out of town though. Like y'all,
what they gotta do with you going to the farmers market?
I mean, I'm gonna just get some meats, and then I already got the sausages. The sausages are ready to go. It's just throw them on and then get it acclimated. But I wasn't grilling yet. I wasn't already out there.
It's time. I feel like it's time. It's April. I feel like you 2 weeks late on the grill.
See, I don't feel like I'm 2 weeks late because of the tornadoes. Right?
What tornadoes got to do with cooking?
Everything, man. The tornadoes. So this is what I would say. If you have like a Kamado, right? That wind, that'll mess up your whole barbecue.
When did we have a tornado?
We had a tornado yesterday.
That wasn't. Did we have a tornado? That was just rain, wasn't it?
Nah, man. They said a tornado came through. Man,
that was yesterday. You could have grilled 2 days ago.
Nah, man, it's been raining all weekend. No, we gonna dial it in. We're gonna dial it in. I'm gonna hit up the grill. I'm gonna have to post some pictures. We're gonna have to just have a cook-off. This year we could do an in-person episode. In-person cook-off on the grills. We should just have people just dial in everybody just grilling everywhere.
All right, Keisha said, what kind of grill do you have? Her husband needs a new grill. Candace, you go tell her because you got the bomb set up. You got 2 of them out there.
So I have an electric smoker, a stack, like a cabinet smoker that's electric. It can do up to like 3 turkeys. It's pretty good. Hooks that up. But then I have a Kamado ceramic grill as well. that I can smoke and do some searing on some different stuff grilling. I would say the Kamado is my daily driver. The electric smokers for batch big stuff. Like we got a few things we got to do, and everything needs to be smoked. So those are that's my combo 1-2 punch. What about you? Because you got the bomb thing now too.
Yeah. So when we moved into the new house, Candace got me because I have needed a new grill. Before we bought the house, I've needed a new grill for 3 years. Like I've just been making the old one that we had work. Like we bought my old grill, I think when we lived in the Loganville house, and then it made the move over. So the old grill was probably 2 or 3 years too old anyway. So when we moved in, so we got rid of it when we sold the house. When we moved into the new house, Candace got me, it's called the Masterbuilt 800, and it's a gravity-fed charcoal grill. So what I love about it is, so you've seen the gravity-fed pellet grill, but the struggle with the pellet grills is you can't get it up to high heat because the pellets don't create enough heat. So I can't cook a steak on a pellet grill because I need to be able to take the temp up to 700. Or I can't cook a pizza, right, on a pellet grill because you don't get the heat high enough. So the gravity-fed charcoal grill, same principle. You can jack that heat up to about 800. So I can do a pizza if I wanted to do a pizza, or I can drop it all the way down to 200, 225 and smoke ribs and chicken or Boston butt for hours. So, and it's good because I don't have to consistently monitor my charcoal, right? Because it's in the chute. I can feed it, fill it, and forget it. So I typically fill it every other time I grill.
Right.
Do a mix of charcoal and whatever my wood of choice is.
Tal trying to roast. You see,
she roasting until the cookout comes. The cookout won't show up with the plate.
Hey, because legit. Now, Keisha said, she said that sounds super fancy. I will say this: the only reason I got a little bougie with my setup is Danielle gifted me a class on how to barbecue. She sent me to barbecue school that they have out in Marietta, right? For like a day-long session where you make all this great food. It was fantastic. But ever since then, and I got a little bougie with it. I'm like, oh, I got the techniques, I got my things. And then when we went to go visit my dad was like, oh, so you out here barbecuing? And he really tried to put me to the challenge. Tal was there. We got up a bunch of food and started grilling. They were like, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of hidden. So you got to hook it up. You got to do what you got to do.
The old heads at the family reunion have officially passed. Family reunion grilling duties. Like they still do all the other cooking,
right?
Except the grilling. And now they've passed that on. All the old heads done passed that on to me. So I'm like, I wear that mantle with pride. And like this is just my season, man. I love grilling food, man. It's
time to bring back the grilled sweet potatoes that I like to do. I love those sweet potatoes, man. So I hack them up, do some smoked paprika on them, I love that, bro.
It's just so many cool things, man. Like I want to get the next thing, and I have debated on whether or not I should get it now. I really want to. If we had the money, I would convert like our back little patio situation. I want to make like an outdoor space.
Yeah,
maybe that's a y'all lower these interest rates so I can refinance it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I want to get I do want to get like a Blackstone flat top, so that I can do breakfast and stuff out there, or I can do a steak if I wanted to do, because that'll be a propane joint, which means that's the easier start time. So if I wanted to do steak, wanted to do hamburgers, I can do that really quickly. Hot dogs or whatever, I can do that really quickly. Candace, no, she like, y'all want hot dogs. I mean, she's like, I want hamburgers. I am not going through the effort of turning on the grill for hamburgers.
Now, see, hamburgers, it depends. If you want your hamburgers, like if you're going to compare the hamburger to like Five Guys, I'm not doing that, right? my burgers got to get a little fancy with it. Like we gotta put some technique into it, right? We got to hook it up. It's got to be seasoned well. It's got to be deserving of the grill, right?
I will not go through the effort of turning on the grill for just hamburgers. Yeah, like it can be hamburgers and chicken and fish and something.
I get that.
But the effort, and then like what I love about grilling is really the timing of it all, right? It's okay, cool. I can go with the ribs. It's so much technique and time, right? Like if I'm gonna do hamburgers and ribs, the ribs got to be done and off the grill so that I can jack the heat up so I can cook the hamburgers. Like I love it. This man.
I think for me, this year, I think is the year that I will tackle the brisket, right? This year might be the year I tackle the brisket. Last year was all about, you did ribs. The ribs turned out good. We pushing into new territory. Once I smoked the turkey and I brined that turkey for like 3 days, right? That turkey was great, right? So now I put turkey in there. I got the chicken going. I got veggies. I'm also I got a recipe to do some garlic parmesan broccoli. So I'm going to try that out this year as well. So I got goals, right? But the brisket is one that I'm like, you got to get that to a skill level to hit that brisket.
Yeah. Right? Brisket and Boston butts, man, because you got to cook that to a temp and then pull it off, wrap it in butcher paper, and then add it back, cook it again to a temp. That's a thing.
It's a skill set, right?
Tasha know my heart, man. She used to be at the house a lot, and her husband the same way, right? Like if them coals still hot,
right?
Somebody running to the store, and we getting more meat because like you can't waste hot coals, man. Like if them coals still fire red, baby, anything that got a bone on it going on the grill.
Now, see, I don't know if we want to be telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but when we went on vacation in St. Joe, wait, so preface this, time out, back up. Jeff is my greedy friend, right? Yep. We went to a restaurant and they had sweet bread and they had some sauce that we were like, I'm about to dip this bread in the sauce.
The fried bread.
They had a whole different thing that was like, oh, it's a remix, right? So when we were on vacation, somehow the first time we went, we got those little cheap grills and we cooked it up on the little cheap grills. We got two $20 grills. We out there with like basically the cheapest materials ever and out there barbecuing, hooking it up. But when we went to Port St. Joe and we did those crab legs on the grill and we smoked those crab legs, bruh.
Yep. So, Kerry, eventually, man, we have to stop. So what we have done, we have not done a good job of picking houses when we went on vacation. The houses have been amazing, but we didn't look
every time. And as soon as you brought up the pellet grill, I thought about the lake house.
The lake house.
We was out there trying. We like, oh, it's got a pellet grill. We have been looking forward to doing this pellet grill.
Yep.
So much. We got out there and couldn't get the temperature up, and we couldn't figure it out. That steak looked rare.
Because it was too damn cold outside. That's the issue with the pellet grill. So eventually we're gonna find it. We're gonna pick a house. We're gonna go on vacation and we're gonna pick a house that has a grill.
Right.
So we don't have to buy them and like that's the sad part. We'll go out and go to Target or go to Walmart.
Be like, we gotta buy a grill and then gift it to the house.
Yeah, buy it like a $20 grill, and then we just end up putting it together and leaving it there.
But no lie, them smoked crab legs, wait, everybody's probably listening like, what? Smoked crab legs. We took crab legs and we had, what was it? It was snow crab, it was king crab, and then we had the little weird claw ones. I can't even think of them. But anyway, we smoked them and then grilled them and injected some butter into the actual crab leg.
We probably did a little bit too much, but
and then we did sausages, shrimp. We look, we cut that thing down.
We was a whole boil. We did a whole
boil. Yeah,
whole
we did.
boil on the grill.
It was pretty bomb.
Grilled
I gotta give us props for that. For saying when it comes to the grill, anything can get grilled. I think we also tried to inject alcohol in like almost everything. We're like, are those the Hennessy French toast?
Well, see, but that's your thing with the Hennessy, with the what's it, the
bourbon Rice Krispies with the salted sugar on it. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
We have a good time on vacation, man.
We do. So I mean, that's what I think it's about. But it's mostly about bringing people together around food. Mm-hmm. Food brings people together in such a way that, you know, how can you compete with that, right? Yeah. So
the kids go to sleep. You know, kids are up, they're up, or they're asleep, whatever. They've been at the beach all day or been in the pool. We all come back, we sit around the table and we drink, and we cook, and we eat.
Hey, nothing better in the summer, man.
That's vacation for the Browns and Claibornes when we're together.
I'm just saying, it's 30 minutes into the episode and we haven't hit on anything that we started that we said we were going to talk about in pre-show.
No, and it's okay.
So I think maybe as a hard transition point, right? Can we talk about TikTok and the boomers?
Kid guy.
The boomers on up in the Capitol. Have you guys been watching this? Y'all on the show? Have y'all been watching the TikTok CEO being providing testimony to Congress and going through questioning? Has been hilarious for just the questions that are being asked of this man. And he is being so kind and gentle in his answering and respectful. And it's just watching two dummies debate about whether the sun is real or something. It's like kind of crazy.
And what's sad is watching the old people go back and forth with dumb questions like, hey, can TikTok turn on my Wi-Fi, or does it connect to the network? And he's like, I don't understand your question. It needs Wi-Fi. Like, you need a signal.
Right.
And the congressman's like, but can it turn on my Wi-Fi? And everybody is like, this can't be real.
I do feel like they probably train people that are in the audience never to start cracking up, because I feel like I would be cracking up. I'd be so done listening to them be like, so let me ask you a question. TikTok, does it access social media? And you're like, it is social media. It posts. Well, does it have access to my privacy? No, it's only what you permitted. So you're giving it permission then. It was like, what? Do you not understand how the internet works? Like, this is kind of wild, right? These people are kind of showing their age a little bit.
100%. And I mean, the good side of this is that it's also given the younger members of Congress a little bit of shine, right? Because they are being able to come in and have thoughtful questions, right? Like, hey, one of them was like, the top 5 apps in the App Store right now are all games and apps made by Chinese-based companies. So are we going to do this for all of them, or are we just going to do this for TikTok?
Right.
Because the issue isn't TikTok. The issue is the fact that this is the only developed country in the world that doesn't have a data privacy policy for its citizens.
Right.
So it's not TikTok, it's the country. And I think lawmakers are just trying to make TikTok the scapegoat in all of this, instead of understanding that y'all can create policy that protects the data that you are so afraid is going to China.
Right. I mean, it's just kind of, like I said, it's just kind of showing you that, you know, people are way, way off, like way off and disconnected with what the real risk of TikTok is, right? By not understanding that, they're spoiling an opportunity to actually get hard answers about what this app can potentially do or not do. Because I've heard from people in the IT fields that said TikTok is a problem. It's doing more than what you think it is. But these little softball questions about accessing Wi-Fi or accessing your home network just aren't well positioned for this dialogue
because they don't know, right? And so at the end of the day, so I don't have the app. It's not because because I feel like it's a privacy thing. I just don't have capacity for another social media app, right?
Right.
Like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then I do all of those for work. It's just too much, right? I have a personal, I have a work, it's too much. And so that's my reason for not having this app. But it's no more or less, like, if we're going to be honest about the dangers of a social media app, then I think the conversation has to start and end with Facebook, right? Like from an app that has the ability to produce more propaganda than any other app out there. Facebook is the one that does more damage to this country than any other social media app could ever do.
Right.
You know, not even True Social can do more damage than what Facebook is doing and has done, right? So I think if we want to have an honest conversation around social media, cool. Let's have a social media based conversation. But if we want to have a conversation about data and TikTok, then let's have a conversation about all of the data, not just the TikTok data. Let's have every app we download, right? You're checking the box that says, hey, you having my data and doing whatever you want with it and selling it to the highest bidder is okay.
Right. It's kind of getting wild out there with the data.
Yeah. It's not a TikTok issue. You haven't told big corporations what they can't do with our data. Like that's the long and the short of it.
And like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of crazy. So the TikTok thing is just, I'm still going to be watching to see how this is going to go. But honestly, I've been like, this is a spoiled opportunity. I mean, I was really hoping to hear.
I think a state has already moved to ban social. Maybe it's Wyoming, one of them up north, middle of nowhere kind of states.
Right.
Or I think they've already banned social media for kids under a certain age.
That's wild.
Without parent consent. And it's like, all right, that's stupid. What's the consent model, right? Like, is it me putting in my name and birthday to say that I consent to my child being on social media? I mean,
I gotta be honest though. Like, I think I know we're on a social media platform, and I think that's all good and well for adults. But I'm increasingly hearing about the craziness that's out there on the other side. Like, I'm not tapped into things like that, right? But I heard a report about child predators using Pinterest, and I was like, this is another, like, I would have never even drew that connection, right?
Right, but I think that we can't is the word abdicate? We can't abdicate parental responsibility here. Like, I think, yes, can we produce laws that protect citizens? Hell yeah, that's their job. Right. But as parents, we also have to have some level of personal responsibility that tells our children what they can and can't do on these apps, right? Like, or hey, your device is mine, right? At the end of the night, it charges in my room, and then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to go and I'm going to look at what I want, right? Just to see what it is that you're looking at, right?
It's just a struggle. It's just a struggle because the technology itself is outpacing our understanding of the risk, of the technical risk
100%
associated with that. And I think that's where it's like, yeah, I mean, you can do your due diligence as a parent and like keep your kids off a platform or manage them in certain aspects. But now with the use of AI technology, with advanced algorithms, with cloudiness of who's owning what and what's happening with your data, it's so much happening out there that's like, I don't know, man. I would be surprised. I know this is like one of those wild theories, but I can imagine that in 20 years, if social media is still around in its current form, right, then there being some degree of like, just like you need to be 21 and older to consume alcohol, there's early reports that social media consumption can be just as addicting and dangerous to people's developing mind, to children's developing mind. I can see them having some type of age limit system. I just don't know how that would work. You know what I mean?
So I think what you're describing only makes sense if you had a functioning Congress. Like if you had a functioning set of people that could sit down in a room and think semi-logically about issues and say, hey, we may not get everything we want, but we can craft a policy that makes sense. And in today's age of idiots running the asylum in Congress, I don't think you're ever going to get something like that. But again, like so to me, it goes back to, yes, it's hard, right? I think somebody said it a couple of years ago. Our children are digital natives, and we're in our generation, right? Speaking of us, that are living here, right? We're digital nomads, right? Like we come into these spaces and we can follow, we can learn and adapt, whereas kids have it innately. But I don't think that abdicates our, again, there we go with the big words, our responsibility to go out and learn as much as we can. Or I think Tasha does this with her children in their social media, right? Candace and I do it with Xavier in his, he didn't have any social media. He has YouTube.
Right.
So like, we'll go through it and we'll say, yo, like you aren't, or listen, like, yo, you're not allowed to watch this. You're not allowed to watch that. Let me go in and block videos that you're, block accounts that you don't need to be associated with. So I think we have to not be afraid to do our part. And I think that means like our parents didn't have to deal with some of this, right?
Right.
That just means to me, we have to lean in more as parents to say, all right, cool. These are the spaces you can get in, right? If you are on social media, you're like all my social media accounts are open. All right. If I let my son on social media, your accounts stay locked. I have passwords to all of them. I'm going to go in and see who you are, who you're allowed to message with. Right. I think Tasha does this. And Tasha, if I'm correct, I think we've had this conversation before. So please put it in the comments. Right. I think your daughter's social is locked and she's only allowed to be friends with, who you approve. Right. So I think it's us finding that space as parents to well, not necessarily finding the space, but parents not being afraid to be parents.
Yeah.
Yo, like, let me see it. Yeah. I'm not a girl. I didn't have a diary, but I'm sure, moms was reading girls' diaries back in the day, right? I attribute it to someone of the same thing.
It is. It's going to be interesting. It's just one of those spaces where I didn't have that on my 2023 bingo card, right?
I don't think anybody had anything that happened in 2020. So I'm going to say from the years 2021 to today, none of the things that have happened in those 3 years have been on anybody's bingo card.
Right. So I think your dad is asking, what do you do as a parent when you do not know the technology?
Hey,
I think that's real, right? Like there's I remember this from just talking with students all the times. Students would be like, "Oh, Facebook is for old people," right? And I'd be like, "So what are y'all on?" And I think more recently I heard about the Be Real app, and I just was like, it's like just outpace me at this point. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea even what's going on that platform.
Yeah.
I think my default would be, then it's not a thing, right? Like shut it down until my kid can explain to me, why is this thing that important and what's going on there? You know what I mean?
So Tasha said it, I put it up there. She said Sarah uses a post on her TikTok. So Tasha, if I ever get a TikTok, I guess if I follow you, I'm getting Sarah's content. And then MJ, and then they have access to all of MJ's accounts, right? Like, and they set them up. And so I think that's the spot where we have to go And at the end of the day, it's still your damn device. So it's like,
Right.
yo, give me my device and let me look at it. And let me see who you're texting and communicating with. I think again, to going back to you, Tasha, because I love the model that y'all have. Your daughter Sarah has a cell phone, but it's only like Wi-Fi enabled, right? So she doesn't make calls that are off Wi-Fi. So that means she's doing a lot of calls at home or in places where your parents are around. So
right.
I think, and I'm not saying that that's the right or the wrong way. I think that's the way that I like. Now, going back to my dad's point, if I don't know the tech, then I think it's our responsibility to either learn it or have somebody come and tell me about it in a way that's the most digestible, right? And I'm not the person. I'm thinking about like my younger brothers, right? Like they probably live in that digital space a hell of a lot more than I do. So I'm thinking like, all right, cool. If there was a question that I had about social, I'm going to them, right? Or as it relates to my dad's question. So
Tasha said it's an old phone. Yep. I love it. My 100%. Kids grow up on a T9 Nokia, like the old school. It don't do nothing. If you're gonna text, it's gonna be hard as hell to text on this.
Zay has my old iPhone like 7 or something like that. He uses it to play Roblox and watch YouTube.
Right.
But now he's in 4th grade, and there's been a couple of his friends
have phones.
They have phones. He ain't. We let him take that phone. He did a field trip the other day. So we let him take the phone, and he thought he was cool, king shit. And but like the phone is, again, it's an old phone. It only works on Wi-Fi. And so he can watch YouTube, he can play games, and then he can do Wi-Fi enabled calling and text messaging, right? But again, it's still my phone, and I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna look through to see. I think anybody he talks to, I think, calls Candace. For some reason, like he has a couple of friends from his class, and they call Candace's phone.
See, I don't know. I got to think more about our strategy as our son gets older and all that stuff. But y'all are giving me some good ideas, some good ideas.
Bam. And let me actually tell you, bro. Like you ain't really prepared to deal with none of this crap until you have to deal with it. Like it wasn't until that little girl called Candace's phone like a couple months ago and was like, "Hey, Miss Brown, is Xavier around?"
Right.
She goes, who the hell is this?
No, he is not. Click.
Yeah, that's what she did. She says he is not. Boom. Right. And then she came in here. Guess who? Just some little girl just called him for Xavier. And I'm like,
not in the 4th grade.
It's like, this shit is not funny. And I'm laughing at the combination of her reaction and the situation. But I think at the end of the day, man, I don't think we ever are prepared to deal with any of it until it's time to deal with it. And
right.
I think you make the best decisions you can.
Right.
Understanding that I think I'm going to make some really bad ones, and I'll adjust. Right. Like, but I don't think because this shit changes so quick as it relates to social media, I don't think we could create a rule and be hard fast. And it's
too fast. It's too fast.
It's too quick. It moves.
I mean, you're about to watch something similar go down with artificial intelligence in education, right? As that comes along online, it's like you're going to have to get up to speed fairly quickly with how AI can enhance coursework, because now your kid is, if it's already out and it's on my desk, right, then I'm pretty sure a kid's been using it for about a year ahead of us, where they've been like, oh, I need to type an essay to get into school. AI, go on and type a letter to try and get into Clemson University as an African-American male from Atlanta.
Yep.
And it'll generate some up, and you'll just be able to rock and roll off of that. But you got to find out ways to leverage that, because that's not learning, right? Or maybe it is, and we're just not keeping up to speed with where things are going. But it's a transition point as it relates to AI as well, being embedded into the educational experience.
I think systems don't adapt well. I think people adapt well.
Okay.
So I think, as it relates to our education system, whatever, anything that has the word system attached to it doesn't adapt very well. I think as people, we tend to adapt quicker to new things, to things like this, right? And so that doesn't necessarily scare me because we've seen our systems and our ways of life change throughout the course of history. I think, whether it's moving from, industrial or agrarian to industrial to right. I think what we have to do as a people is make sure that we are as best positioned as possible. I think you said it to make sure that we leverage so that we don't get left behind.
I think that's what, circling back then to the politicians, it's like, it's a shame that they don't even have the staffers because they didn't come up with these questions, right? They rely on their staffers to do this. And it's like, how are you not getting the right insights about what's going on because you're the representative for me? You can't be out here just asking crazy questions. That's what you got a whole staff for. You got people that just deal with policy. Where's your tech guy? Where's your younger person that's like, yeah, TikTok, yada, yada, yada.
But I think you have to also remember, man, like these people are like, I think the unfortunate side of where we are as a society is that I think people live in vacuums.
Yeah.
And so, I may be young, but if I grew up in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere, or if I got the job because I'm connected to daddy, not because I have a skill,
it's still like you should. I don't know, man. Maybe I just want.
I think you're holding them too high. I think the politicians that have good staffs based on how they speak,
right,
and based on the issues that they feel like are important. But I also think you have to probably transition from watching things happen in the House and watching things happen in the Senate, because that body has traditionally been
they're a little bit less wild in the Senate.
Well, because it's different, right? You got 6 years as opposed to 2.
Right.
And so, but again, I think, you got some of these new age folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene who, like they have an agenda, and it's not necessarily that agenda don't necessarily line up with America. Right. So I think the issue ultimately since we're sitting in politics, we'll just sit here for a second. As long as you have money built into politics, right? As long as insert corporation can write a dark money check to any politician and nobody knows about it, then you're never going to get policy that matters anymore. That's why we won't get gun legislation and people will continue to die in this country. We won't get a good privacy policy because big tech, big gun, big oil don't want to have conversations that relate to climate change, gun reform, or privacy.
Well, I mean, I know this is a bit of a weird transition and it's a bit of a preview, but my villain of the week was going to be Benjamin
Netanyahu. Yep.
What? This guy is going like Putin kind of crazy, right?
But that's who he's been, right? And I think
he's always been there. But to get voted back into office, and then one of your first pieces of legislative action was, let's make it so that Congress, or their equivalent of Congress, I think, can basically override the Supreme Court, right? And nothing matters anymore. We basically have a ticket to kind of do whatever we want to. But what you're watching is society in Israel like stepping up big time and saying, no, these aren't things that we will stand for, right?
So I'll push back on you and say there's no difference in what Israel did or tried to do and what the state of Georgia is currently doing.
So tell me more.
So the state of Georgia right now, it's passed the House. I think it sits in the Senate. The Senate's already passed a similar bill, which essentially says that Congress and the state Supreme, that we will create a new body that's appointed by people, that a person body appointed by the state Supreme Court that now has the ability to remove a prosecutor from office. So because of they feel like that prosecutor isn't necessarily doing their job, right?
Right.
Which is a total shot at what's going on in Fulton County or what's going on in a lot of these Democratic leaning counties, right? Well, now we have a Republican controlled Congress that wants to be able to say to duly elected duly elected district attorneys and say, I don't like who you're prosecuting anymore. Right. So we're going to have you removed from office, right? It's easy to see and say that's bad when it happens in another country. But when it happens in our own backyard, everybody's like, oh.
Well, I mean, it's on citizens that are both active and aware to then bring those things up to light, right? And say, this is what this means, right? Don't let it fool you. This is what could potentially happen here. I am a fan. I think you know this probably more than anyone, that I'm much more of a fan of liberalism in the sense of like, I'm really suspect about everything, but I also believe that overall, on the longer term, there are moves and counter moves, right? You can make a move like that, but now are you ready for what happens when the pendulum swings the other way, right? Which is what I think what you're seeing happen in North Carolina right now, in the North Carolina system, where there's all this talk about the state system of schools and how that's being governed, and then a board appointed by the governor that can say, no, you can, or yes, you can. And it's like, again, that power came from a different side of a different party, and now it's being leveraged in a way that they're like, oh, I didn't see the tables turn. That's why I think most people, like even Governor Kemp, I think those things are interesting because I'd be really interested to see if Kemp signs off on that, right? Like,
they've already pretty much said that he intends to sign it.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
But I think the issue I think what makes North Carolina different and special, and I think you'll see this also with what's happening in Wisconsin, is Democrats were able to flip the state Supreme Court,
right?
Which in North Carolina, what ended up happening was you ended gerrymandered districts, which is so. Once you ended the gerrymandering of districts, now you actually got legitimate people, not necessarily that people's votes were illegitimate, but you have districts that are drawn more with more proportionality. So right. You also then began to flip congressional seats so that now you're going to be able to change policy in a different way. My fear is that what you see in states like Arkansas, Huckabee just signed today. She made drop boxes illegal in Arkansas. So now you just made it harder for people to vote.
Right.
And so in states where where Republicans control governor's mansions and the state legislature, you can do things like that without much pushback. And that limits your ability, insulates your ability to get pushback like you see in North Carolina or like you saw in Michigan this year, right? Michigan, right. The Democrats control all three levels, Senate, House, and
governor.
In the governor's mansion. So right. I think, again, it's like, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said informed citizenry.
Right. I think it's going to be interesting. So it's something definitely we got to watch. I don't know how we got here from Congress TikTok, but yes,
people need to stay woke out here. Y'all know good and well. Once y'all open the door for your boy to talk politics, I'm gonna kick that son bitch in. You don't have the politics talk. I hold myself back, man. And I want folks to know, man, like I don't really classify. I probably classify myself more as a Democrat now, but I've always really considered myself an independent. Like I voted for Republicans, and I will continue to vote for Republicans. That makes sense. But I've also traditionally voted for Democrats as well. So, like that's where my heart is, and I'll vote for whoever makes the most sense. But right now, we've moved because of Trump and because of that wing of the party. We've moved from being this center right, center left kind of country we've moved right so far
Right.
that center now is still wrong.
Right.
So center was here. Now we've moved the country so far to the right, and now center's here, and it used to be here. And so, when you feel like, oh, we're doing things that are too liberal, no, this shit ain't too liberal. It's just y'all made the country too right. Not right or wrong, but right as in policy. So, I think it's just going to take some, more of these young Thundercats getting in here, winning races without big money donors,
right?
That they don't have to be beholden to really get in here and change some things.
Yeah, man. So, hey, man, I think we're at the top of the hour. Do you want to
get an hour, baby?
Favorite part of the show?
Hero, villain, man.
Heroes and villains.
You go first because I ain't ready.
So I got a few different things kind of going on this week. I think one of my heroes has to be the Final Four.
Yeah, on both sides.
Basketball. I'm a big fan of chaos. I love it. I love when chaos happens in sports, especially. So to see UConn, who is one of my favorite college basketball teams, it just is a moment for me from when I was younger. I just fell in love with UConn, the basketball team. I'm happy to see them back in. FAU and Miami, that's crazy. And San Diego State, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They said altogether, I read something. So the real winners here would be the 31 people whose bracket has not broken yet, right?
Yeah.
There are 31 people that saw from the get-go it's going to be San Diego State, University of Miami, FAU, and UConn. And I can't, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Yeah. I said, more than likely, you're looking for somebody that went to FAU for undergrad and Miami for grad school, but is really from Connecticut and married someone from San Diego.
100%.
How you get there. I don't know how else you get there.
That's the only way you get there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then my second hero has to be the two young ladies from New Orleans who cracked the Pythagorean theory, right?
Yeah, that's dope.
That's so major. This theory of trigonometry has stood for 2,000 years. And two young ladies from New Orleans,
black ladies,
two young black females, ladies that look like, I looked up their school. Their school is excellence in women in minorities, women of color coming out of the school it's amazing. So to see these two young ladies presenting to the Academy of Math and being welcomed in, and people saying, yo, I need you to go and submit that. We're going to do our research thing. And even just to get to that point is amazing. These two young mathematicians remind me so much of Riri Williams, but in real life. So I got to give them the props.
Yep.
I have no villains other than what I brought up. Benjamin Netanyahu or whatever his name is.
Benjamin Netanyahu. Yeah.
I can never pronounce his last name. So.
Netanyahu.
That's
okay. I think I'm good. I think I'm ready, man. I think I got like you. I got all heroes this week. My first one is we've gone all month and we haven't recognized Women's History Month. So I think we barely made it, barely squeezed it in. This is the last week of Women's History Month. So shout out to all the women who continuously hold us down. Right, like comment section. Right now, woman, right? Yeah. So dope. So thank y'all, man, for continuously holding us down. Right. World will be a lot better place if we got a lot more women in leadership. I will stand on that fact. My other hero number 2 is the women's basketball tournament.
Okay.
I heard I think it was as of the other day, I think their ratings have actually been higher than the men's tournament.
The women's tournament balling out.
The women's tournament is
balling out of control.
My sincere hope is that we get South Carolina versus LSU because them girls on LSU balling. But like Tasha said, man, Dawn Staley is ish right now. And I low-key am tired of seeing Gino Auriemma from UConn. I'm just over him. And he ain't really got too many black girls on his team. So I want Dawn Staley to go ahead and run the table and get that thing one more time. And then my final hero of the week is just rest. So for y'all, for our viewers and followers, we are going to take 2 weeks off. I'm out next week. Aries out the following week. So we will not be back. Our next show will not be until April 17th. So you're going to get not us. Maybe I'll just reshare one of our old shows or something on that Monday of each week. But yeah, so that's my heroes, man. Women's History Month, the women's basketball tournament, and low key the NCAA's desire to not call the women's basketball tournament March Madness. March Madness only refers to the men's tournament, not the women's tournament, which is trash. So big ups to the women for outshining the dudes, and then rest. 3 heroes.
I got a brief homework assignment for everyone if they're down. April 17th, what I would put forth as a proposal for our first episode back after a 2-week break is that we have either an 80s or 90s R&B tournament to figure out who's going to make it. Who's the ultimate 80s or 90s R&B group? Who's down?
You want a bracket tournament?
I don't know, either a bracket tournament or a draft or something. We got to come up with who's the best.
We could probably
do your research. The only reason I thought about this is because Tony is going back on tour, and I was like, with Raphael Sadiq?
I saw that.
Without
Raphael Sadiq. The internet.
What? With Raphael Sadiq, y'all going back on tour? Now I'm thinking, who is the best 90s R&B group?
We know you're not going to say Boys to Men.
Oh, they're not even in the running. Please. Now I'm scratching my eardrums again because
Candace wanted me to ask you if you want to go see Brian McKnight at Chastain. He coming to Atlanta.
Come on, man. My mind's on saying Kim. I hate I can't stand it. Like, don't even get me going. I won't even go down there. See, Jeff is trying to pull me in because he knows I will rant about the countdown song with Brian McKnight. And I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not taking the bait this week. All I'm saying is 90s R&B champion. Now, you could do singles or you could do groups. Which one you want to do on the 7th?
You know who would win this competition?
Who?
Your wife.
She would. Do we want to bring in the wives for the April 17th?
I think they should just do the show, and I could take 3 weeks off. But I ain't no way I could ever convince my wife to come on here by herself.
I think you can maybe convince Candace if I can convince Danielle.
She would come on the show. She wouldn't do it by herself.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we should convince both of them they can just do their version of this show with wine or something, right? She said, yeah.
She said, yeah, no.
No, she said, yeah. It was yeah before, right? So I'm trying to see that. I'm
walk upstairs and fight that battle.
All I'm saying is 90s R&B battle, April 17th. It's going down. Get your list together. We gonna go song for song. You got the top. Come with your A game because you're only gonna get one hit. One.
You got to remind me. Are we doing songs or are we doing group people?
I think we gotta go with group, right? Because group would be harder, right?
All right, just send me a reminder because I'm be to forgot that.
I got you.
Yeah. But we are planning on going to see Kev on stage in August.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So y'all gotta as soon as the date, Candace just needed to text the group the dates so we can go and buy these tickets when they drop.
As long as Brian McKnight won't be there, then
I think Brian McKnight opens. Time to save day 26 in the lineup.
If day 26 ain't in the lineup, is it really real? But day 26 from the early 2000s. They from the 2000s, so they're not even in there, right?
If day 26 there, Danny DeCane got to be in it.
Danny DeCane's not from the 90s. They're from the early aughts, right? So you got to give them the early 2000s, right? So you got to dig into the crate.
the early aughts still had good R&B though. Like they had rollover R&B from the 90s.
They did. They had people that set the bar. It was like, you can't get out here. You know what I mean? Out here trying to sing. So I'm just interested to see what people come up with to bring into your A game for that episode. We'll see, man. I'm excited about it. But yes, we are taking 2 weeks off because your boys need rest. Yeah, we need rest and relaxation.
And Kerry's starting a new gig, man. So we got to give him some time to get in there and get settled.
Yeah, man. So and Jeff is going on vacation. Don't downplay the vacation, man. I get some rest out there.
I'm out.
Hey, that's what's up.
So,
we survived.
Hell of a show.
We survived the episode. We did great. I'm so excited. Let's have some fun, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, we appreciate all y'all, man. Pray for the Tennessee community. With another mass shooting in this country. I think pray for South Carolina. Wasn't a tornado ripped through South Carolina yesterday? Or was it the day before?
And Mississippi. Yeah,
man.
It's getting crazy out here.
A lot of stuff going on, man. Y'all just
much prayers and positivity out there.
Yeah, prayers and positivity.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do a barbecue episode this summer. So
we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to challenge this out there.
Yeah. So yeah, all right, man. Hey, man. Good episode. We out. I'm Jeff.
I'm Kerry. Peace out, y'all.
My name's baby.